What's up, guys? It's Eli, and I'm here with my friend Mike Cheney. I'm up here at Endeavor Defense and Fitness, like that I've been several hundred times over the years now. We just finished up a long weekend for Knife Control Concepts, which is a really cool course you should check out. So follow Knife Control Concepts. We're not talking about knife stuff right now, though, because we were talking about knee bars. And a video that I haven't really spent much time on, or a topic I haven't spent much time on, is knee bars. And I know if there was a guy that could talk to me about anything jiu-jitsu related, honestly, like I trust Mike's opinion on stuff. He always has awesome stuff to show me, and very modest about it, but he's a phenomenal black belt. So anyway, let's look at some of our favorite knee bar situations. I wanted to do like knee bars from everywhere, but it's a little disingenuous, but these are going to be some good ones anyway. So I talked about from standing, and Mike had a cool one, and of course it's a Russian thing, so I don't know. What's it called again?
The Z throw. So a guy from Oklahoma State years ago, his name was Alan Gelagayev, very Russian obviously.
Very Russian.
So he would hit this throw like everywhere. He's taller, I believe he was heavier as well. But he'd start out with like an upper body tie, like an overhook here, right? He'd start to have like something across the body, like a wrist tie, elbow tie, and if like he could, he would snake under that underhook to get good like upper body torque that way. But then he would also like try and throw this leg in and wrap around. So like I've wrapped my shoelaces around the Achilles and I start to like have control of that leg, right? So if I time the turn with the upper body and time that kick out with the lower body, I'm gonna put him right on his butt. Like I'm here, I'm gonna turn, boom. I'm taking that post away, I have those shoelaces attached so I can feed that knee, that leg right up to me. If I wanna unhook the upper body, I can start climbing for the finishes, or if you prefer heel hooks, all that stuff, that's fine. But it's a knee bar video, so stick with the knee bar, right? So little Z throw plus a knee bar. So one more time, overhook, right? You might be starting out hand fighting, coming in, you may do this first, you may do this first, right? Doesn't, you know, you might like play with it. So under, boom, kick and turn, feed it up, and grab the heel. Good old fashioned.
Yeah. And that was something that came up in discussion too, is that like the problem with, we don't do a lot of knee bars. I hit them from time to time and I like them a lot, but it's almost like everywhere you go for a knee bar, it's like you're right around the corner for a saddle or 411 or honey hole for heel hooks and some almost better stuff sometimes, but sometimes knee bars are the most appropriate thing. One I like from standing a whole lot, and I recently showed this from like on the knees because it's a good starting one on the knees, is like from sumigeshi. And the way I do it in no-gi is I want to get like a strip off of a tie, like a Russian tie here like this, and I try to get over to the lat. So I'm trying to grab over here on the back of the lat, and I'm going to step and I'm going to pivot and turn my foot in like this. I want to hook up and inside, and then I try to get my knee across the far side hip this way, and then I'm going to look to squat and sit down between his feet and kick him up and over my head. Now, what can happen a lot of times is in that flip right there, I want to come up and snag here so that instead of both his legs flipping over that way, I'm going to snag his leg between my two legs like this here. And then, of course, I can reach up and grab. And then typically this is going to be a good kind of finish. And we talk about finishing mechanics a little bit. Figure 4 is often a false sense of security on knee bars. And you're better off usually crossing your two ankles, scooping and pulling their butt towards you, and then coming up and hugging here like this. And we'll talk about some other finishing mechanics in a moment on the ground, but let's look at that one more time here. So if maybe I stripped this grip across here like this, I have this rush and I'm going to reach across to grab here while I'm still maintaining control on the arm. I'm going to step, turn my toes in and pivot, and I'm going to hook over on his far side butt cheek with my knee going across, up and over, and then I'm going to reach up, I'm going to snag this leg here across my two ankles, come down, pull, and finish for that knee bar there, right? So that's a couple of good standing entries that you can get off of them, and then there's lots of different ways you can hit them on the ground. One of the most common initial entries is the same way as like step into a saddle sometimes. So like if I'm doing some kind of like open guard pass, right, and I'm looking to like push the legs down and then kind of do this back step, kind of basic entry this way, this is going to feed us into the saddle position a lot of the time, where I'm going to start attacking the legs this way. But something that you can look to do, and the reason I like this is because I can split it between threatening the saddle or threatening honey hole and threatening the guard pass on this side, and then somewhere in the middle, if I push my knee like all the way through like this, so I'm going to pull my knee deep this way. Now once I pull my knee deep, if I cross over here, and I've heard this referred to as the Vinnie Lock, probably off of Vinnie Lock. But once I get this here and I've got this crossed up, now he's kind of in this weird figure 4 type trap, and I'm gonna hug back and finish that knee bar here. So basically what's happening on this one is like we go in, I kind of back step off like this, and as I pull this one in, like my knee goes in like knee deep on this side. I'm gonna step over figure 4 this way here. And so whether it's over or under, either way, if I get this trapped in, then this top leg here that I have the ability to attack is pretty trapped in there. So it's gonna be really hard for Mike to get out of that kind of configuration before I can hit that knee bar on that side like that. Right. Now you were talking about one like from Cradle.
Yeah, yeah. There's like simple ways to do it, and then there's like just some weird kind of mean ways to do it.
All right.
So far side cradle, right? This is Dave Petrone stuff, Cradle Gang. You know, go check out all their stuff on BJJ Fanatics.
Absolutely, Blackout Grappling.
Yeah. So I'll play, like, I'll do everything. We're snaking behind the head, getting that arm involved in that cradle, and I'm playing high on the head, you know, active toes, chest pressure, all that good stuff, right? Everyone doesn't, once you start feeling that pressure, they don't want to be there anymore, right? It's like once you start actually like feeling resistance on that leg, they want to start kicking out of that. Like I can feed right up. Right, and then I can start sitting right back, and I can keep the head if I want, keep you nice and close. Right, and that cradle still serves a purpose. And then I can slide right down and finish, or you know, step through the saddle or whatever.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I have one that I like a lot from side control, but it fits into that far side cradle position the same way. And that's what's so cool about, again, to give a shout out to Dave Petrone with the Blackout Grappling. That's what's so cool about their hybrid grappling system, is that they've made really functional submission grappling use of cradles. A lot of times cradles are just kind of holding pinning positions, but they've got some nasty submission stuff out of it. This is a knee bar I like to hit quite a bit from it. And again, I'm going to try to get into this kind of cradle position here like this. And what I tend to like to do here is like I use this as kind of a pry apart like that. And what I'm looking to do, since that space is open, is to step inside between the two knees like that. And I did this. I do this a lot of times off of like a reverse scarf hold too. But then from here, same as Mike was talking about, is if he's trying to push and expand out that way, then I'm gonna post up and across, and I wanna slide my knee through toward my ankle. And then as we go to sit down, now I'm gonna catch up here. And this is probably a good position to talk about some of the finishing mechanics that are really helpful. If I pinch the flat of Mike's foot between my ear and my shoulder, and I hug here on his Achilles tendon, and then this hand here, I'm gonna grab the heel. So then as I go to extend my hips into his knee like a regular arm bar, I'm also pressing my head to the floor and pulling his heel up, so it makes some like rotation, almost like an outside heel hook. So there's rotation and there's extension, so it's a really like nasty finish if you get those braking mechanics down there like that. So there's a couple of good options right there from the cradle.
This is another Dave Petrone special, really. Like bottom side control, right? And like starting to collect the head and get like the bottom cradle, right? So like I'm doing like basically like your turbo bridge, where I'm gonna like turbo bridge and like collect the head and like fight it over to that knee. So I have the cradle here. So now I can sundial my hips underneath. I can start to get the actual sweep, right? I can dump them, come right back up. Yeah, right underneath.
I feel like it's so stretched out already by the time we get there, because well, partly because I'm not that flexible, but that's just a nasty compromising position. So that's another gnarly one. I didn't know this was all going to turn into cradle knee bars, but you know,
yeah, it's kind of flowed that way.
Just to throw things off, I will show one that I like a lot. That's, I can't remember first time. I know that I remember seeing Gary Tonin do this at one point, and I've seen other people kind of pull it off as well, and it's from Butterfly. And so essentially what's happening is like, I'm starting a butterfly sweep, but he's kind of posted out a little bit better than I had expected, and I didn't have good control over this arm. So whether it's underhook or overhook this way, what I'm looking to do is like tuck this one, and I'm gonna kind of, I wanna invert underneath this way. So off of basically like a failed sweep, I'm going here and then coming out on that knee bar here like this. And again, I'm gonna cross my ankles, pinch his butt in like this here, and I'm gonna hug and extend my legs out. So that one, again, is like, I start in on this butterfly and he posts this leg up. So as I'm here, it's probably not gonna be the easiest thing in the world to sweep. I may not be able to get good control over this arm to complete the sweep. So I'm gonna tuck this one through, and I wanna turn upside down here this way, and then come out on that knee bar here. So that way I can look for the finish off that knee bar, kind of flatten him out, or at least roll him to the side. The other thing to remember too about a lot of these knee bars is like, it's a good attack to set you into saddle positions where you can then threaten other kind of foot locks and heel hooks and toe holds and all kinds of other cool stuff. You can couple together toe holds with knee bars. So knee bars are a really valuable tool in that sense, I think, and that's why I wanted to make a video. So I appreciate your help, sir. And awesome stuff always. If you guys are ever in the, where are we at? Columbus, Ohio area. I always want to say Hilliard, but it's not Hilliard. Okay, well, if you're ever in this area near Columbus, Ohio, you should come and train at Endeavor Defense and Fitness. Aaron Giannetti and Mike Chaney are two of the most amazing people in the industry. And when I say the industry, it's martial arts, self-defense, fighting, and all types of forms. And again, follow Knife Control Concepts because they're doing some fantastic work. And anyway, I appreciate you guys watching my channel. And shout out to Dave Petrone, Blackout Grappling. I think everybody, like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, do all that stuff, please. I appreciate you all watching.